G'day, Mel James, James Buy Sell, Market in a Minute. Today I'd like to talk about big picture. We're buying and selling. Whether you buy or whether you sell, whether you sell or whether you buy, when you separate the transactions in your mind and separate them perhaps in time, I feel there's a far higher risk of a mistake, of a problem, of a lesser result than if you bring the two together. If you look at buy and sell as one combined transaction, you maintain leverage, you reduce risk, you just open up a lot more opportunities in my mind. So the questions I come back to ask is control. Do you want to be in control or do you want to be controlled? Control or be controlled? In my opinion, if you buy selling together, you can be in control. If you're buying and selling, I think one of those situations there, you will be controlled. So, of course, we all need some form of management, but is the management we're getting guidance or manipulation? When you start to separate your transactions, there's a lot more chance of manipulation than receiving some guidance. Another thing often I hear about potential. We all hear about potential on the buy. We don't often hear about potential on the sell. In other words, if you've gone and bought something and then you've got to sell really quickly, I don't think you've given yourself any chance to examine the potential of your property. Now, if I go and say to some people, look, you've got to do this, this, and this, all of a sudden they find it insulting. So I've learnt to express things in a different way. I simply ask the question, when you're selling, do you want to have the potential yourself? Do you want to be paid for the potential? Or do you want to leave the potential on the table for somebody else? Quite often in how you present the property will make a big difference on who gets the potential. And finally, managing. Yeah, managing is important, and managing in the market. The question is, again, I ask you, do you want to be managed by the market or do you want to manage the market? Meaning, if you're looking to tie everything in for a couple of weeks, this is the way the market works, up and down. So yeah, you might actually get a reasonable result, but you can also have a very poor result. If you look at over a longer period of time, getting the result that you want, there's a lot less chance of a poorer result in the market. So, do you want to manage the market or do you want to be managed by the market? Do you want to guide? Are you going to be given some guidance or are you going to be manipulated? Are you going to be leaving potential on the table or are you going to be extracting that potential yourself? And finally, do you want to be in control or do you want to be controlled? I'm Mel James.